Okay, I'm not sure exactly where the tape started, the recording started. Um, so what we got here is the long patterns there, and this little guy here, if we could get a look at him, we've got the same thing going on as with the short patterns. C, G, D, but now there's a little A substitution there. Now this isn't the substitutions we've been talking about as far as substituting a fourth and a fifth. This is just like a complete detour. There's a little detour here where we're going to start on an A shape and end on an A shape there. But that little detour happens to be our big pattern. Then back up to the E rather. That little detour is our big pattern, 5, 6, 7. So we would start here on E. Let me see if I can get both of these guys on here. Start here on E to G to C. Now we're going this way. Okay, so E goes to C like that. So this is the circle of long and short pattern fifths with the double A octave shortcut. Okay. All right. Now let's look at this because we've got to sort this out here. The fifth of E is C, so we're starting on E and we're going to C. Then we're going to G, so it goes in fifths. Then we go to D, then we hit the double A. So we go E to C to G to D, and then we hit the long pattern, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here's the A again, here's the double A, and we're going to come out of it in this particular pattern fit shape, 7 root 2. So if we started on the A down here, let's start on a G, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2. Right there. So you got 5, 6, 7, root 2. Right, and that's one of our basic shapes, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, like that. Okay, that's your basic D shape down here. So we go around the circle as usual. I thought maybe something was wrong, but we had to start on the E there. So these numbers, these are kind of like nomenclatures here. S1, C4, extra long. Here's your C. It's its fourth. It's one string long right here. Here's one string long. That's why S1, S1, S1. These are all S1s. But down here we got S4 because we're going to be looking at E, C, G, and D. So we can play into it. Starting from the 7, it would be 7 root 2. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it in the key of C, so it would be up here. 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, and then 5, 6, 7 has to be warped up, and then root 2, 3. So you get all that in one. You get all that in one riff in 6 strings. No matter where you start, you just go up 6 strings. We could start anywhere. We could start from this 2, 3, 4. I happen to like to play it down here on the D. So it'd be 2, 3, 4, and then we'll go into a long pattern. Now warp up that 7 root 2 coming out, and 3, 3, 4, 5. Now notice 2, 3, 4 started in a D, and we came out in a C string shape. So D goes to C in the word caged because you end the word caged, C-A-G-E-D, and then start the word caged again. And remember, every other letter in the word caged, you go in fifths. So C, skip A to G is the fifth of C. Skip E to D is the fifth of G. Skip C to A is the fifth of D. I hope, yeah. That kind of thing. The other way around is in fourths. So no matter where we start, we just go up 6 strings like that, but we don't show the tuning third in here because it's going to be variable. It's going to be anywhere depending on where we start the pattern. So here we could start the pattern on 3, which would be kind of a C pattern. Now if we just wanted to start on the same E note every time, That would be interesting because let's say we want to start on the G note where a dot is there. That's kind of like dot theory. And what it is if we started on this G note as the seventh, we'd actually be in the key of what? A flat, right? So we go 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root. So here's our root is A flat. If we wanted to make that G the third, okay, same dot here, we would go 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7 root. Then we'd be in the key of E flat. Alright? If we wanted to make that dot the sixth, so the G is the sixth of B flat, you know that, right? So it'd be 6, 7 root, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root. Okay? If we wanted to make that dot the 2, G is the second of F, we're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4. Okay, now notice we started and ended in the same string shape. Okay, if we wanted to make it the fifth, we're going to go into the long pattern, but we don't have to. We can do a short, first of all, we could do a short pattern, but we would start it as if we were starting here and just go into the 7 there. So this 5, 6 would be under here, and that would be our A short pattern. In that case, G is the fifth of D, G is the fifth of C, thank you. But really, keep in mind, if you want to get to the fifth, by the way, I thought a new not new method, but one of the many methods of figuring the fifth of something, instead of just going caged words C, A, G and skipping one letter, so C goes to G, is to look at to tell yourself the fourth and the fifth. So from C you go C, and then now string shapes now, not just the fourth. So of course in notes it would be C to F to G. Do the fourth and the fifth. In string shapes it would be C to E shape to G shape. Okay, because there's always that third, but that's not really from the tuning third. That's not the tuning third. That's the string shape third, because in violin there was no tuning third at all, and it still had the same string shape circle. So the string shapes were applicable to bowed instruments and fifths too, as long as you do double string shapes. So it'd be like C, A, like that, but then we'd have to start a fifth from there, and it would be E, 7 root 2 to D. Then we'd have to start a fifth from there. Okay, so the fifth of D is A, so we got 5, 6 like that, etc. It was difficult before I got my violin in the mail. You know, I was doing that kind of thing, going up a fifth because there's fourth in between the strings. So we could start anywhere, and that's pretty much the name of the crux of that tune. We could do from the fifth, you know, and just play on up. So we get everything in this long pattern, although it pays to know the short pattern. Okay, so here's the long patterns in the simple string shapes, you know, without like the fretboard, and we're going to be selecting certain notes in these string shapes, but it pays to know what these string shapes are and to know that A in the short pattern is just 5, 6. It's important to know that A is just 5, 6 in the short patterns, and it just, you know, so it goes in a circle there. You know, so it go A goes to D, goes to G, goes to C, goes to E. If you're going to start from A on the bottom, it's going to be 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4 warped up, and 5, 6 again. The long pattern for A starts down here, and it's 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then shape fits 7 root 2. We're out of the pattern to E again, warp up 3, 4, 5 on that C string shape, and right into the next cage from A